Good day, my name is Abigail Scott, student number 222148550. My journey to finding my Novus teacher identity was not smooth sailing or easy at all. Starting off with my first year, where I had just planted my teaching seed, I was thrown into the deep end where my mentor teacher got sick on the third day of my teaching prac, and I was thrown into the deep end. I had to learn how to swim with little help from any of the other teachers, the HOD or the deputy principal. But I was able to find my way and learn how to swim, impressing the people who did not help me in the beginning, which was my mentor teacher, my HOD, or the deputy principal. Going into my second year, where I was able to grow more, this had been my favorite teaching prac, where I was able to find my teaching voice and impact the children in ways I didn't think were possible. I was quiet and reserved when I started, but landed up being able to stand my ground with the kids and figure out what I wanted when I have my own classroom one day. My third year teaching prac was where I got tested the most with if this is something that I really wanted to do, because of how I did land up getting treated during my teaching prac at the school that I was also working at. It took a toll on my mental health quite a lot, as well as my physical health, but through that I was able to make a very, very good friend. My fourth year was also quite interesting. Having to work and do your teaching prac is extremely difficult, and I think I realized that going from last year's teaching prac into this year's teaching prac. It was quite difficult. It does take a big toll on you emotionally and physically, and you'll end up realizing a lot of things about yourself and how much you are able to handle as a teacher, with having to experience this very early on without a teaching degree and having to do everything that teachers are supposed to do. I figured out the core values that I want within my classroom and how I want to be as a teacher. I realized how my passion has grown and still continues to grow. Going back to the seed, I was just a seed during my first year. It was planted, and through each of the different years I realized how I've grown, I've blossomed, I've bloomed into the teacher that I am today. A few things that I have realized during my teaching pracs is that in order to get respect, you need to give respect, and it's not just with the kids, but it's with your colleagues as well, where some of them don't feel that they need to give that to you, but then have a problem when you don't give it to them. But it's a two-way street. What you give is what you'll end up getting. I also realized that being a teacher means being a chameleon, and I've managed to become a chameleon myself. With that being said, being a chameleon means changing to the different types of learners that you get in your classroom. You can't be an outgoing person and loud and energetic with a student who needs that kind of stuff, with a student who is quiet and reserved. So it's changing yourself constantly to suit the learner who is in front of you's needs. I have gone through a lot of up and downs, but that is something that is normal. My path to teaching success was not easy. There were a lot of highs and lows. I'd like to say that there were a lot more highs than lows, but the lows are what really land up pushing you towards becoming a better teacher, and realizing that good things don't always come easy. You need to go through the hardships to be able to overcome them and get to the good parts of teaching. It is very challenging. It is something that I have noticed does not always have only good days. You have your good days, you have your bad days, whether it's within yourself, whether it's with the people that you're working with, or whether it's with your classroom or certain kids. The same way that you have your up and downs, kids and the people around you have their up and downs as well. I am beyond excited to see where I land up after graduating, and to see how much more my passion grows, how much more of my voice I am able to find, how much more of a chameleon I can get, and how it does become easier to swim, because a lot of the times you do land up getting thrown in the deep end, or that was just my experience with it. But I am excited to see where things go. A little quote that has stuck out to me: change is inevitable, but growth is optional. And I cannot wait to see how much more I do grow once I have my degree, have my classroom, and continue growing my passion, growing my abilities into the amazing teacher I know that I can be. Thank you so much.